Have you noticed how life feels more turbulent than ever, like we stepped into the heart of a storm? But here's the truth. The storm doesn't just break things down. It reveals how truly powerful and unshakable that we really are. So here are some spiritual tools for challenging times to not just survive, but to thrive. For as the storm passes, the passage into new earth begins. These are not ordinary times, and we need powerful, updated spiritual tools for challenging times. These techniques, especially the last two, are going to help to keep you safe and empowered as we transition from old Earth and get through the rebuild and come into new Earth. You'll stay safe and will experience accelerated spiritual growth if you do these things, and they will be and you'll become part of the solution and help humanity through this period of grand awakening. So the important thing now is to stay safe and to stay in your power. So I've got everything in my notes. So I'll be looking down occasionally here and there. So I highly recommend you start to do a daily spiritual routine, something that you can stick with, something that's going to work with your lifestyle, with how much time you have, and all of that stuff. There's power in repetition, there's power in structure. With all this chaos, having a structured routine is really, really going to be helpful for you. Development in meditation is key. So meditation's not easy. Now's the time to begin a meditation practice. I know it's not easy, there's distractions, but the good news is that my new meditation course is only weeks away. We'll let you know when it's available. And not only do we teach you the simple and the most powerful way to meditate, but how to work through the challenges and troubleshoot it, which is really key. So in the storm, we need to stay strong. So healthy diet is a must. Healthy routine, healthy diets, basically. Working through habits, addictions, and stuff like that. Very, very important to stay safe and empowered. Sugar is one of the most addictive substances that tear down the mind and tear down the body. When I gave up sugar, and trust me, I had more cavities as a kid than you probably did. That was not easy for me to do, but I did it. My brain became clear, I became healthier, and now the only sugar I have are a handful of berries a day and maybe an occasional yam. So going on these anti-inflammatory diets, fruit juice, honey, maple syrup, rice syrup, all that stuff. So I highly recommend that, and developing a very healthy plant-based, but you can eat meat also if it's good quality meat, whatever works for you. But having, good plant-based diet is really, really helpful. Also, food tend to be chemically laden, and what does that do? It tears down your mind and your body. So get clean, healthy organic foods if you can. We live in a highly digitalized and technological society, which can be good or bad, but the electromagnetic frequencies from like the Wi-Fi, the 5G and stuff like that, they're electromagnetic in nature. Our auric fields are electromagnetic. Our brain waves and our heart rhythms are also that. So basically overexposure to these things will upset our brainwave patterns, our heart rhythms, and cause weakness, and can over time lead to tearing down our bodies, our energy fields, and disease and stuff like that. So it's an easy fix, though. It's easy to counter, and the main thing to do is to get out into nature. Even if you live in the city, take a walk on the streets, but get out into nature. Feel the wind, feel the trees, feel the flow, and nature will restore your energetic fields. So if you have that balance, if you have to be on computers like most of us do, if you live around 5G, if you have that balance, that will restore your fields. You can also use like shungite, pyrite, and things that offer at least some semblance of protection from these frequencies, basically partial protection anyhow. Now, the other thing, around that is try to limit your time on social media, exposure to the news and stuff like that. Yes, we need to know what's going on, but understand that the powers that be that want to control everything are programming us. And a lot of that happens through social media. Gets us upset, gets us out of our power, gets us away from our spirit, away from our hearts, away from our connection to the divine source by invoking survival based emotions. So that's what programming does. It forces us into survival based emotions that are negative, like anger and fear, rage, and all that stuff. I mean, they're necessary to survive, but not all the time. And by doing that, basically, it forces us into negative reactions. And overuse of these emotions over time and the hormones that they release tear down our bodies, they tear down our minds and foster disease. So keep that in mind also. And exercise is so important. Have a daily exercise routine, whatever it is that your capabilities are. But this should include breathing exercises, breath exchanges with the universe. Learn some good breathing techniques and exercise that you can do every day. Yoga is a really, really good practice. There's other forms of spiritual exercise, things that'll raise vibration, and promote health. Hiking and things like that are good. But breath work, breath exercises, cultivating breath is really super powerful in keeping you safe during this time of the storm, basically. I also highly recommend doing a strong daily spiritual practice that you can stick with during these times also, that's going to work with your lifestyle. Morning routine is especially powerful. Having a good morning routine that sets your day in a positive, empowering, spiritual way is really going to help. Simple things like that. Things like using positive affirmations, self-programming in the mornings to help empower you. Very, very good. The big problem now is parasites on all levels. Energetic, physical parasites, parasitic people, and stuff like that. So purge parasitic people from your life. You don't need them anymore. They're just going to hold you down and make you more vulnerable to the ill effects of the storm rather than helping you to stay safe and empowered so you can rise above. And then you become a way shower and a teacher as the storm passes and new earth starts to build, basically. So practice things like reprogramming techniques, shadow integration work. By the way, we have videos on all these topics on the Medium channel to get you started. We have playlists on I don't know if I have one on reprogramming, but I definitely have one on shadow integration work. So you cannot take these old shadows, these old traumas, these old stories of the old earth into these higher vibrations of new earth. So to stay safe through the storm wants to blow away and clear all this old stuff from you. So if you work with the energies of the storm, remember, storms in nature, yes, destructive and challenging, they serve a very, very vital purpose of cleansing the earth, the rain, the winds, and everything, and balancing and restoring the earth back to natural balance. So it's not a negative thing. Remember that. And here are the last two. And if you're enjoying this content, please like and share this, and this gets this information to more people. And if you like what we do here on the Medium channel, please subscribe to the channel, and that way our videos will come up more frequently on your homepage. And if you hit the bell icon, then you'll get notified when we do our live events. So anyway, the first one is an updated version of Heart-Brain Coherence for these times. And you haven't seen this before because it's an original technique that I downloaded from Spirit directly, though it's based on two very powerful tried and true methods. So do this, I would recommend 3 times a day for 10, 11 minutes at a time, like HeartMath Institute recommends. And what you do, you get meditative, then you start to just feel very present. That's what meditation is. So practice your presence daily. Every time you think about it, just stop your thoughts, tune into your breath, and then go about your business. Feel your breath, your body, and everything in the present moment until something takes you out of it. So that augments your meditation practice, takes it out of the bedroom or the yoga mat and out into the real world. So you want to get very meditative for this practice. Get very present. You're not a name, you're not a body, your energy, your spirit, you're a divine son or daughter of great spirit, source, or God. So once that happens, just feel very grateful for the now. If you want to count your blessings, you can. But the idea is when you feel and when you connect with the present moment and start to dissolve the personal identity and reconnect with your identity with source, you can't help but to feel grateful and compassion. So let those feelings build, and let them build in your heart. Let your brain and your heart connect. So allow your brain to feel the compassion that your heart's feeling, the gratitude, and just feel that energy spreading out through your body in a beautiful gold or white light of pure gratitude and appreciation, love, and compassion. And then start to be aware of a greater light around you with those qualities that's much larger, much brighter, and feel your light expanding and feeling the light around you closing in. Allow your light to blend with the heart that's sitting in the power, and sit with that, feeling grateful, feeling connected with that greater light for about 10 minutes. So do that every day. So that's number one. And the second one is a technique that I use that I've taught before. By the way, we have videos and a whole playlist on heart-brain coherence. And I call this the flame technique, or my variation. And one of the things that we need is sanctity in this world. We need sanctuary. Yes, we're all connected. We're all one under divine source, but we're individuals and we're in a storm, and some people are just perpetuating the storm and making it worse. So sometimes we just have to go in and separate ourselves from the world. And a great way to do this is to light a candle, get very meditative and present, gaze into the heart of the candle. Don't stare, but it's a focused gaze. Try not to blink or keep blinking to a minimum. Feel your heart open, feel grateful, feel very grounded, feel very strong and powerful in your frame. And then in your mind, as you're gazing to the candle, especially that bright spot right above the wick, just step into that candle and feel the flames around you. They're not hot, they're not burning, they're gentle flames, but powerful flames. And no, set the intention when you're in that flame that you are in a protective bubble, a protective fire that shields you from the outside world and the stress of the world. This is good to do every day. The other things that are practical is charge your water. Dr. Emoto and others have proved that water is very, very receptive to emotional energy and frequency, and that and there's an infinite variety of the way that water molecules can align. We're becoming more crystalline, so the water in our body becomes more crystalline as we ascend. So what you do is you hold it, just feel grateful, love, gratitude. You can even say that, charge it with really positive, heartfelt energy, then drink your water. These are little things you can do. Take cleansing baths, charge your water in your bath, or if you shower, you can charge your shower head with cleansing, and set the intention the water is going to cleanse all stress of the world off of me. And there's more things, and I've got other videos. On one side, I'll post a psychic self-defense video, but on this side, this is the first part of this video. This is the full psychic forecast that'll let you know everything that I feel is going to happen and what we need to be aware of, and all that kind of stuff. So the full psychic forecast is over here. I hope you find this very helpful. Let me know in the comments, and we'll see you at the next